What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. So the stock market absolutely crushed it today, guys. S&P 500 up 58 points, up 1.8%. The Dow Jones ended up going up 550 points, up 2%. And the NASDAQ 100 ended up going up almost 200 points, up 1.7%. And get this, guys, the Russell 2000 up almost 3%. Up 45 points on the day. And in this video, we're going to be talking more about the stock market, breaking down some technicals, going over a bunch of stocks here that I'm looking to buy right now. And I also want to share with you guys what I've been doing in the markets and kind of where my head is at right now, as literally the election is today and as the markets are probably going to remain volatile for the next couple of days. So if you guys find value, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe to the channel, check out the Strive Smart Discord chat and Facebook group link down below. And if you guys want 3 stocks from WeBull valued up to $1,600 for free, all you have to do is deposit $100 using my link and you get 3 free stocks, and I also get 3 free stocks since it is an affiliate link. So guys, let's talk. We have a bunch to talk about today, and again, the election is literally tonight, which is going to cause, in my opinion, a lot of volatility here in the coming days. So you saw in my thumbnail, right? And you saw in the title as well. The thumbnail says, not so fast, right? And by not so fast, I mean we're not yet breaking out here. A lot of people are freaking out today. Oh, FOMO's kicking in. Oh, should I buy here? Should I buy this? And the markets did very well, no doubt about it. I mean, you saw the Russell lead the way up 3%, and across the other 3 main ones were up about 1.8 to 2%. I mean, it's a great day out there, but overall, what you guys see is simply a relief rally, right? And I'm not saying this as some perma bear, some guy that wants the market to crash. I'm just reading what's in front of me, right? The markets got oversold last week, no doubt about it. I mean, S&P went from 3460 to about 3230 last week. It was about a 5-6% drop. So we were bound to see maybe a couple days of relief, which is what we're seeing right now. I mean, yesterday we got that nice pop, the gap up, nice little Monday, and today we got an even bigger gap up. But take a look at where this is putting us. If we pull back to the 4-hour chart, notice how we're still under the main moving averages here on the 4-hour chart for the S&P 500, both the 180 and the 50 SMA. And this happens to be at a lower high, and we're at the resistance of this wedge that we're in here on the 4-hour chart. So to me, guys, we just rallied into the resistance, right? So the real test is these next couple of days. Is the market going to be able to gap out of this resistance, right, on this wedge that you guys are seeing here? Are we going to take out the main moving averages? If we do something like this, then we're talking, right? Then we might be seeing a lot more upside here in the markets. And again, it's anybody's guess. The election is today. We hear that we're not going to see the results for maybe 10 days, 2 weeks, 5 days, who knows, right? So this is going to remain volatile, and who knows if Biden wins, if Trump wins, what the market's going to do in the near term under each candidate. Nobody knows. So all we can do is trade what's in front of us, right? And that's what I always preach here on the channel. Trade what's in front of you. And right now, we're squeezing deeper and deeper into this wedge until we pick direction, whether it's a breakout like I just drew here. That would be anything above 3,400 on the S&P into the high 3,400s. Or if we end up selling off and we take out the support here of the wedge, we take 3330 out, we break under 3,300, and we start selling off into the mid 3,200s. I mean, that would show a sell-off in the S&P 500, right? And when it comes down to SPY here, which is an ETF that tracks the S&P, it's a lot of the same, right? We're downtrending overall. We're making lower highs. And we actually almost made a lower low last week, but we actually held the September low here on SPY, which was around 320 to about 322. So we ended up holding that. But overall, you can see very similar signs as the S&P index, right? We're trading under the moving averages. We're at a lower high right now. So I need to see a big pop out of this overall downtrend into, let's say, Key levels I'm looking at, maybe 340. I'd like to see a 340 break, 345 ultimately as well. So we'll see what happens here, guys. We'll see what happens. I mean, the last thing I'm looking to do, and you guys can do whatever you want, but hey, take my advice if you want it. And again, it's not financial advice. Don't do what I say, but I'm just here with my opinion, and for me, it's not worth FOMOing into the market quite yet because I don't think the storm is over quite yet. That's just me being completely honest. So watch for 340 to break on SPY. If we get rejected here, we very well could be going down to 328.50. That's a big level. Another big one's about 322 to 323 here on SPY. So watch out for those levels. And when it comes down to the Dow, very strong day today. We ended up holding 26,200 nicely. We gapped up Monday and Tuesday, which is today, and we ended up closing right above 27,450, right around 27,400. That puts us right at a resistance from back in the beginning of June, which quite honestly, guys, for the bulls to be in charge, obviously this needs to break. We need to break the main moving averages on the 4-hour chart and this 27,500 level. And if that ends up happening, we might start squeezing back up to the 28,000s, maybe 28,900, maybe even 29,000. And we all know at this point, tech has been struggling, big tech, and the Dow itself doesn't have much big tech exposure, which is why it's been doing a little bit better these past couple of days as opposed to the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500, right? So watch what it does here. Dow Jones at 27,500. That's going to be a pretty critical point. And when it comes down to the NASDAQ 100, guys, we ended up closing above 11,200, which is a pretty good break and a close here for the bulls. But overall, again, not too fast. Don't get too excited because we're still under the main moving averages, both the 180 and the 50 SMA, and a big wall coming up on the NASDAQ 100 is right around 11,500. That needs to break for the bulls to get more charge here. And honestly, not even 11,500. We need to break 11,700, 11,650. I mean, if we start taking off out of those levels, that is where we might see a lot more upside here in the NASDAQ and tech in general, right? We have to just watch tech in general as it has a big effect, obviously, on the NASDAQ 100. So by no means, guys, am I some perma bear, somebody that just hates the market, wants it to go down, but I'm just telling it how it is. I'm not buying this rally quite yet. Obviously, I have money in the market, but I'm not quick to just rush with a ton more into the market until we break out of those key levels on the main indexes that we just mentioned. So let me know down below, guys, are you buying into this? Are you waiting until after today, tomorrow, maybe even next week? You might wait a little bit to buy in. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comments. Now, let's talk a little bit about what I personally did today. And guys, I didn't do much. Again, I'm kind of waiting here. I'm being a bit patient. I'm not looking to just FOMO into the market on one big green day. And like I've been saying in these videos, right, in the past couple of videos, I don't think being 100% cash is smart either. And if you are 100% cash, I'm not knocking you. Do you? Everybody out there has their own way of doing things, and respect, right? I completely respect everybody out there watching, but for me, 100% cash is a bit risky. I like having some skin in the game, maybe 50, 60% of the portfolio, whatever. I'm personally around 65% of the portfolio right now. I like having skin in the game because I know, okay, if the market rallies, I still have skin in the game, and I have cash to add into momentum stocks at that point. But if I don't have any skin in the game, the market rallies, and I'm in cash, and yeah, I could catch some momentum plays there, but I'd be pretty salty, quite honestly, if I was 100% cash. And I'm sure a lot of you guys could relate to that. So for me, I'm still holding on to my core swings, some long-term swings here. I have Apple AAPL, which did well today, pretty well, up 1.5%. I'm in at about 115, added more at 109.50. Now the next spot I would add is around 105 if we were to get there, and if 105 broke, I'd probably add more at about 100, and this is one that I think is solid. I like it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in it. And I think with iPhone 12, that new lineup the next quarter is going to be great. So I'm long Apple 100%, and I'm sure some of you guys out there are long Apple as well. And I'm long EA, which actually reports earnings. When do they report earnings? Tomorrow? Maybe no, Thursday, 11/5. So Thursday, Electronic Arts, they are reporting earnings. I'm very excited about that. This is one that I'm actually down a little bit on. I'm not stressing it, but I'm down a little bit. Excuse me, guys. On EA. And quite honestly, I plan on adding more to it after earnings. I kind of want to see what's going on after earnings there. And Workhorse, guys. Workhorse finally started to gallop again today, guys. It's galloping again. Finally, Workhorse ended up going up 12% almost today, and earlier in the day, it was up even more. Take a look here on the intraday chart. We were up to 18.50, and now even in the after hours, we're up about 35 cents or 25 cents actually in the after hours. So guys, what did I say? Workhorse is one of those stocks that can turn on a dime, up and also down, obviously, like we've seen in the past couple of weeks. So this is a good sign. I mean, we're holding $15. That is very good from a technical perspective, right? We ended up closing above 1770, which is also very good here for the bulls, as that was a big resistance from July all the way to about September. So the fact that we closed 1770 above it, that's good. But we're still under the main moving averages here on the 4-hour chart. I mean, for me to add more money, I would want to break 1850, probably today's highs, and into 19. That would give me more confidence of the momentum continuing. And with earnings coming up, honestly, on the 9th here, I'm probably not going to add money until after earnings, right? And mind you guys, these are all long-term swing trades. I'm not looking to get out in 2 weeks from now. I'm looking to hold these for a couple of months at least. So those are my main holdings right now: Workhorse, EA, and Apple. And I thought you guys would find this interesting, actually. Almost forgot to mention it. Workhorse, if you guys follow ARK Invest, big fund, they have multiple funds out there. They actually bought 96,300 shares of Workhorse yesterday in the ARK-Q ETF, which I actually own this ETF. It's the Autonomous Technology ETF that they have. And to give you guys some perspective, 96,300 shares, I don't know where they bought it, probably around, let's say 16, 17 range. I mean, do the math. That's a pretty good chunk of money that they bought. I actually didn't do the math myself, but what that equates to is 0.2% of the ETF. So to just show you guys how much money ARK handles, they bought 96,000 shares, and that was only 0.2% of the ETF. So that is pretty crazy. And yeah, I mean, I figured I'd just let you guys know that. And I'm long all three: Workhorse, EA, and Apple, and I plan on adding more at the right time. So let me know down below, guys, what are your thoughts in the comments? I would love to know. And like I said, I don't like getting political here on the channel ever. Honestly, I never talk about politics. But now that we're in the election, what do you guys think? Who do you think is going to win? Not who you want to win. Who do you think is going to win? Let me know down below in the comments with a reason why you want them to, or you think that they're going to win. And if you don't want to comment, of course, it's okay. No hard feelings. But I just kind of want to get a consensus here of my audience to see kind of where everybody's head is at with who they think is going to win and why. So let me know in the comments if you guys want to, and if you all are enjoying the video, make sure to hit the like button. And like I've been saying, guys, it doesn't matter who wins, Trump, Biden, because long term the market is going to go up. If you're a long-term investor, you have no worries. You're going to have to hold through some volatility. You're going to have a strong stomach here, but it's going to go up. It's going to go up. That's what the charts I've shown proven, right? We've seen under Republicans, Democrats, the markets go up. So don't freak out if you're long term. If you're short term, it's a bit different. But yeah, just take that and just keep that in the back of your head, right? So let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts there? Now, let's talk about a bunch of other stocks here, starting off with Fastly, ticker symbol FSLY. And ARK actually also bought some Fastly yesterday. FSLY here, they bought 89,600 shares in the ARK W ETF. So that one's different. What's this one? I think the internet one. Yeah, the next generation internet ETF. They bought about 90,000 shares, and that is also about, just to show you guys how much money they're operating with, they bought 90,000 shares, and that's only 0.2% of the ETF. So let me just whip out my calculator real quick right now. I want to do some math to see how much money. That's got to be over $1 million, right? So 89,600. Let's say hypothetically they ended up buying Fastly, FSLY. Let's just, because we don't know exactly where they bought it, but let's say they bought at $68. How much is that? Oh my God, $6 million. So they bought $6 million of Fastly. 90,000 shares roughly at $68 hypothetically if they bought at 68, and that's only 0.2% of the portfolio. So that is, or the ETF rather. So that's pretty crazy. And Fastly ended up going up 6% today, up $3.82, and by no doubt it's still downtrending, no doubt, right? So I'm not looking to get into it quite yet, as we're still under the main moving averages on the 4-hour chart, and we're under 75, 77, which is a big resistance coming up. But the more beaten down it gets, I mean, we're down a ton, guys. It's lost half its value pretty much from that peak. I mean, the more beaten down it gets, the more I'm looking at it. And especially if we get the turnaround confirmation. Quite honestly, I'm waiting for that confirmation that, okay, we found the bottom and now we're ripping up. And that would be anywhere, in my opinion, from $73 to $75, $77. That is where I think Fastly could start breaking out. So I'm watching Fastly here. Anything above $75 is interesting. And again, ARK ended up buying about $6 million worth yesterday. So they're still bullish. I mean, they're still bullish, Fastly and Workhorse, which is interesting here. Otherwise, they wouldn't be buying the stocks. Obviously, I mean, why would you buy a stock if you're not bullish on it? Unless you're short selling it, but that's different, right? So Fastly, guys, FSLY. Shopify is another one, SHOP, that I'm liking here. We're holding the uptrend at a higher low on the 4-hour chart. Also, we have a big resistance at about 1050 and at 1100 to between 1100 and 1150. So I think this is looking like a ascending triangle, right? I think Shopify has a good chance of getting up to 1050, 1060. I think that's the next big resistance coming up. And I was looking at call options today, guys, on Shopify. And let me tell you, those premiums are insane. I mean, you need I forget which ones I was looking at. A bunch of them, they're like $4,000 for one contract, right? If you want to buy, 90 days out or whatever you want to buy, it's a lot. You need like a couple $1,000 for one contract here with Shopify calls. And of course, the shorter time out, the less they're going to be, because the less time to expiration, right? Typically, the cheaper the premiums are, because they're riskier, right? They're riskier when you have less time, so it's less to actually, buy the contracts. But I don't like doing, short out options, like 10 days out, a week out. I like doing more 120 days out, 180 days out. And those ones that are a couple months out for Shopify, man, those premiums are very juicy. And I honestly, I could buy calls, but I'd much rather just buy shares at this point. Anywhere from 950 to about 975, with a goal of exiting at about 1050 to maybe 1100. So that's kind of what I'm looking out there for Shopify. And Qualcomm, guys, no one's been talking about it. They're reporting earnings here in the next couple of days. Actually, tomorrow, guys, Qualcomm, QCOM is reporting earnings here, and they're down a good $7 from the highs. You guys can see here, uptrend trend still intact on the 4-hour chart. We're in this juicy looking wedge here, as you guys can clearly see. And I think the second we get that confirmation, we gap out, break above 125, 126, 127. We break out of that 50 SMA. That is where we could be seeing a big pop in Qualcomm, right? So I'm just looking for the technical break. And again, the thing as a trader, you can always wait and pinpoint your entries. Wait for the confirmation. So for me, I'm going to set an alert here at 127. The second it breaks that 50 SMA here, 4-hour chart, I want to be alerted because that is going to bring momentum into Qualcomm, in my opinion. So I'm going to put that here, $127, create that alert. Boom. Next one here is going to be Upwork. They're also reporting tomorrow, guys. So tomorrow is going to be a fun day for some of these companies that I personally track, right? Upwork, Qualcomm. We also have Baba coming up here. So Upwork today, guys, did well, up 4%. Up about 77, or actually exactly 77 cents, guys. And what we see here is a hold above the 180 SMA 4-hour chart. We broke out of this downtrend here that I drew in yesterday's video. This is very bullish. We saw a nice gap up. Now we're seeing a bull flag here on UPWK. This is looking very strong, guys, quite honestly. And I could see this rally even further. And this is a very good company, quite honestly, for the state of the economy we're in. Work from home, freelance, all that good stuff. I think Upwork has a bright future and a bright next couple of quarters. So I'm looking at this to do well, especially now that we broke out bull flag and all that good stuff. So watch for that 50 SMA here, 4-hour. If that breaks as well, which we already did today, but if we get a full, break out of it, this could be going higher, maybe $20. So I'm watching out Upwork here. And Alibaba today, guys, had its worst day since, what was this? January 2015. Largest decline since January 2015, down about 8% on the day today, and that's because Ant Group's $34 billion IPO, which Alibaba has a pretty big stake in, has been postponed in China, Hong Kong, after meeting with regulators. The decision came to suspend the IPO came after Shanghai exchange officials said it would halt the listing due to the company's inability to fulfill conditions amid changes in the regulatory environment. So Baba got crushed. This is arguably an overreaction, in my opinion. It very well could be. And I'm watching for the recovery play. Again, earnings are coming out on Thursday, which is in 2 days from now. So if we end up finding support, and it kind of looks like we are. I don't want to jump the gun, though, because it only the drop was today. But it looks like we are finding support at about 280, so I want to give it a couple more days. But if we end up gapping up tomorrow, that would be bullish, and that would tell me, okay, that we're ending up holding the uptrend here. That would be very good. And especially if we're able to get back above 300. If we're able to get back above 300, 290, 295, that is going to be pretty compelling that, okay, maybe it was a bit of an overreaction and we might go back up. But again, it's hanging over Baba's head, this Ant Group IPO. I mean, it's $34 billion. That's not a small chunk of change. And, I mean, it could be rocky for the next couple of days, weeks, until we get more information on when they're actually going to IPO. So watch for Alibaba here. I am for sure. I'm also looking at the payment processors very closely. MasterCard here up 2% today. Ended up holding 290 nicely, closed above 295 here. And what I'm seeing on the 5-day, 5-minute on MasterCard is a reverse head and shoulder forming. We have the left shoulder here. We have the head as we hit 281 bottom, and now we have the right shoulder forming as we broke 290. Now we gapped up above 295. We actually hit 300 today. So this is looking like it's ascending with honestly a path to get back up to 320. That is kind of the pattern that's being laid out here. That would complete the right shoulder, if you will, the reverse head and shoulder, the right shoulder, if you guys can see it here. So that would put MasterCard at 290, or not 290, 315 to about $320. That is if, I mean, going back to this 4-hour chart, that is if we end up filling that gap as well to the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So it's looking solid. It's looking solid. I like how 290 held. And again, if that right shoulder completes, we should fill right to about 310 to 315 here on MasterCard. Awesome company. I love it. I mean, their earnings recently, the quarter just reported, wasn't the best, but hey, I think buying into weakness is how you got to do it. And I actually added MasterCard a little bit to my position here a couple of days ago, and I'm happy with it. And Visa, ticker symbol V, is also looking to be holding a key level here at $180. We ended up rallying and filling the entire gap from 180 to about 188, 189. Now we're trading right under the main moving average here. So for me, guys, I'm not looking to get into Visa, and I'm going to set an alert here until it breaks 190. So 190 is what I'm looking at. 190. Let's just put 191 to get an even higher price there. If we break 190, 191, get into the mid 190s, I think from there 200 is the target, right? So I'm looking at Visa here, MasterCard. They're both beaten down pretty aggressively, and I mean, guys, they're down like 20%, so they're in bear market territory pretty much. Actually, no, they're not. They're not quite yet. I mean, Visa was down about 17% from peak to the low point a couple days ago, but now with the rally, it's down about 12%, which is still a good chunk for Visa. And MasterCard, let's take a look. This one's probably in bear market territory. Yup, it's down about 20%, just about. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weakness here in the payment processor, so I'm watching those. And some other companies here that are reporting earnings coming up. We have Square. They're reporting here. Let's take a look on the 5th. So Thursday, they ended up closing above 158. That's a big resistance here, so watch for the gap to maybe fill up to the moving averages here on the 4-hour chart. That could be putting Square at, let's say, anywhere between 168 and 170. Roku is another one that I'm watching here. Good old Roku. They're reporting earnings on the 5th as well. So a ton of companies, guys, are reporting tomorrow and on Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the channel because we're going to be covering all of these companies and their earnings. And Roku here, I mean, it's down a good chunk, $37 from its high. That's about 15-16%. We're holding the uptrend here on the 4-hour chart on top of that 180 simple moving average. Now, all we need to see is the confirmation of the continuation of this rally, or quite honestly, not the continuation of the rally, but the start of the rally, because we're still downtrending. Now we just need to break out and do something like that, what I just drew with my arrows. So I'm watching Roku, Square, Uber as well. Uber's a big one, guys, with everything going on over there in California, and I'll be the first to tell you, I haven't been tracking Uber that much. I'm not really looking too much into it, but if we get some good news out of California, we might see a breakout, maybe up to $38. That's a big resistance, and from 38 up to maybe $41. That gives the stock about, let's say, from the low end, 5% potential to the higher end, maybe around 10-12%. So I'm looking at Uber, Square, Roku. Those are big companies coming up. And AMD, guys, this is one that I'm so compelled to add a position in here, despite it not fully reversing quite yet. And what we're seeing here is a nice rally today, up 2.5%. We're actually about to break $77, which is a big resistance right now. And I think if that does break in the short term, we might see a nice rally in AMD, maybe from 77 up to $80, $82. I think this is just beaten down for, I don't want to say no reason, but I feel like it's beaten down too much. It's down a good chunk from its high at about $95. Let's take a look here on the 4-hour. I mean, guys, this stock is down 20%. So it's kind of in a bear. I mean, it is in a bear market pretty much, down about 18-20%. Anything above 20% is bear market territory. So I'm watching AMD and Virgin Galactic, guys. Haven't talked about it in a while, but Virgin Galactic is finally showing a reversal pattern here. We held 1750 nicely for a couple of trading days. Today we were up about 4.5%. Big resistance coming up now at about $19. That puts us right under the main moving averages as well. So I think Virgin Galactic could be a breakout from $19 to $21, then back up to $22. I think that's possible, but I'm not jumping the gun yet because, guys, we're still under all those moving averages. They're still acting as resistance, and earnings is coming up on the 5th as well, guys. So Virgin Galactic also on the 5th, and we saw Tesla. Let me know, guys, did you play Tesla? We called this out yesterday. Tesla ended up exploding 5.8% today, up almost $25, which is great. We ended up holding the support here of this wedge. Now we filled the gap up to the resistance of the wedge, and now we're in a funky spot. I mean, there's still upside on Tesla, no doubt about it, but we have to wait for the breakout. We're still under the moving average here. The downtrend's still intact. The wedge resistance is still there, so I want to see the breakout first. At anything above 427 to maybe 430. That could be breakout territory on Tesla. And we have NEO here, which, guys, is this ever going to stop? Is this ever going to stop? NEO up 6.5%. And at this point, I'm a NEO bull. You guys know that. But at this point, it's getting a bit ridiculous. We need to pull down. We need to cool off. This is not healthy. Stocks that move like this, and by no means, guys, am I shorting it. I'm not. I'm long, again, like I said. But even when you're long a stock, you have to be able to admit when it's overheated. And I'd be the first to tell you, NEO needs to cool off. Maybe down to $30. Heck, I'd like to see it go down, and don't get mad at me, guys. Don't get mad at me. But I'd like to see it go down to 25. I'll be honest. 25 would be great. But with the hype, with the momentum, I don't know if we're going to get there, quite honestly. And I'd love to know your thoughts down below in the comments. So that's it, guys. That's it for the video. Again, in the beginning, we talked about how the market might be trying to trick you guys. It might be a bull trap, and I don't want to get hate for that. Let me know your thoughts about that down below. And yeah, I'm just keeping it real. That's just how I'm seeing it now, guys. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure to join the StrivSmart Discord chat and Facebook group, and don't forget to get your 3 free stocks from WeBull, valued up to $1,600. All you have to do is use my link, deposit $100, and you get your 3 free stocks. And if you don't want to use WeBull, you could just take that $100 back out, and you still have your 3 free stocks. So use that link, get your free money. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching as always. Be safe out there, guys. That's the most important. Thanks for watching as always. Peace out.